Welcome back to Cask in Point. Today is going to be a great day because we are trying a new stag batch. Now, before we get into the video, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm trying a little bit of a new setup here. I've gotten a tripod for the first time, which has been working out really well. Before, I was kind of balancing myself on a bunch of boxes, and it was pretty time consuming just to balance it properly, so hopefully this is a lot better. And I also got a new microphone, as you can see here, so let me know if you guys think the audio on this video is better than my previous videos, or if it's way worse, let me know. But also, probably for the next few weeks, I'll be splicing videos that I've just recorded with this new microphone with videos that I've already recorded with the other one. So basically, if you see this, it's a new microphone video. That's all that means, but hopefully it's a lot better. Let me know what you guys think. But back to Stagg here. So Stagg has a fun history. So it started in the fall of 2013 with batch 1. They then did 2 batches every single year after that up until 2021. And then peak of COVID, beginning of 2022, some weird things happened. So basically, they decided to take off the Junior on Stagg, and Stagg Junior became Stagg. Grew up, as people like to say. However, they ended up getting a lot of the glass jars in already that had Junior on them, but they didn't want to use them. And so it ended up taking months for them to get the right glass jars for them to fill with the batch 18 juice. And then also somehow they ended up releasing 22B around the same time, both in winter 2022, and then batch 22A, which is very popular, which I have a bottle of back here, actually ends up releasing in the beginning of 2023. After 22B, which is really weird. But then 23, they also decide that they're going to release 3 batches in a single year, and so they actually have 4 batches in the year, because they have 22A release in early spring, then 23A release in late spring, and then they had 23B and 23C release. Now, 23C releases in the winter of 2023, and then we didn't hear anything about Stagg for a few months. But in the summer of 2024, Stagg 24A was released. It's 127.6 proof, and the reviews on it so far have been quite positive, so I'm very interested to see how this stacks up. Now, I've tried almost every Stagg batch there is out there, and over the course of probably the next few months, I'm going to start a series where every single week I'll do a new flight of Stagg until we've tried them all. I'm just missing samples of the first 4 right now, there are 24 of them. So, I'm getting closer to there, but anyways, that's enough talking. Let's try some Stagg 24A, see how it stacks up against the last few, and if Stagg is, going up, or as most people think, the 23s were actually pretty bad compared to a lot of the previous batches. So let's see if 24A turned it around, or if it's kind of staying in that same trajectory. On the nose, there's a lot more vanilla on this than I typically get on Stagg. There's plenty of cherry, there's definitely some spice here. Some really sweet oak that I quite like. A little bit of dill, tons and tons of cherries though. I mean, this is a very fruity vanilla oak bomb here. Not a ton else. I mean, there's actually almost like a little bit of rye candy, I want to say, which I typically don't get on bourbons, but the rye spice heat is really coming through, but with the amount of fruit and like almost candied fruit that's on this, it's a really nice mix. Very solid on the nose here. And Stagg, I don't think, is something that really stands out for its nose. I think its palate is incredible, and its finish is sometimes some of the best in all of whiskey. So a nose this good is promising, but let's try it and see how good it is. It's actually really nice. So that vanilla comes through really strong. Mid-palate, late palate. It's mixing with a lot of spice, but there is some red cherry in there to really appease those that love their cherry bomb Staggs. That's really nice. I think I like that definitely more than 23B and C. I don't even think it's close. It might even be better than 23A, and perhaps even the best batch since 22A. Really, really like that. I mean, it's giving me all these different elements that I really like in Stagg. There's enough oak here, there's enough cherry here, but that vanilla is adding a tertiary element that it's not actually very typical of the Staggs that I've tried, at least. But I really like it. So, I mean, let's take another sip here to confirm, but this is good. This is really good. Yeah. There's a good Stagg punch on that. The palate starts off spicy, and fruity. Then the fruit kind of dissipates and turns into tons of vanilla and oak. And then there's still a little bit of lingering spice, and there's a little bit of lingering cherry on this, lingering plum, but I mean, it's developing throughout the pour. The finish is medium to long. Definitely some kind of pepper aftertaste, which is common, but the cherry isn't really going away. But it's a light cherry mixed with like a light vanilla, actually. And it's actually still going. I'm still tasting it. I actually would say that finish is close to long. I like to reserve long for the finishes like the 13th Colony Double Oak. That's a long finish on that one. But this is up there. This is definitely at least medium long. I am really liking this Stagg batch. I think this is better than 23A, 23B, and 23C. I don't think I like it as much as 22A. Now we will do the ultimate comparison when we try all 24, in the next few weeks here. But no, this is good. This is in the eights. Definitely low eights, but it's up there. And this definitely Stagg bringing it back a little bit. If you've seen this on the shelf, I would definitely look into it. But let's take another sip here, and then I'll give it a ranking as I do with all my videos. Yeah, and on further sips, I'm getting a little bit more caramel as well. So I'm getting all the elements that I want. I'm getting fruit, spice, oak, caramel. I'm getting some vanilla. I'm getting everything I could ever want in a Stagg almost. I think that's in the eights. I almost think it's actually really close to 22A if I'm being honest. I mean that is really really good. And I was a little bit worried because its proof is quite low relatively speaking. The median Stagg proof is 130.2. Meaning that there are 12 batches that are above that, 12 batches that are below that, and 127.6 is bottom 5, maybe even bottom 3. Obviously 23C was the lowest, but then batch 10, and then I think it might be 24A after that as the third lowest batch ever. But it's not tasting. It drinks around 130 proof. It's not any lower than that. It's giving me enough punch and enough flavor that I'm actually very pleased with this pour. I think this is an 8.1. I would drink this all the time. I would buy this every single day at $60. I would buy it at $70. I'd buy it at $100. Would I pay full secondary that's around 170 on it? Probably not, but it's around there. That's really not a ridiculous price for it. I hate encouraging secondary prices and stores to mark up their bottles this much, but that's a really good bottle. That's a really good Stagg batch. I drink that over all the 23s, and I think that since they're all going to cost around the same and probably as hard to get anyways, get the good batches. Buy 24A. But that's the review for today. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will catch you all in the next one.